like I can study it myself and understand what he does differently than me, and I feel like as long as I'm able to do that, I can figure out the things that he does here that make him great. So yeah, I'm excited for this weekend. I've definitely got a lot of new thoughts in my mind about this track and how to go about it, and I'm excited to see if they make a difference.
Has it been something to handle, because it's enough to say you're the favorite because you're leading the championship, you have all these wins and you're bringing it in? How do you kind of, and I'm sorry if you've already answered this a million times, but I mean, how do you kind of go into this, because you've had such a great season? Is there almost this even bigger expectation to win the championship because of that?
No, I don't feel any extra pressure to win the championship. I feel like everybody who's watched this year knows what I've done, and I don't think anybody, if I finish second this weekend and lose the championship, I don't think anybody's going to say, man, that kid just doesn't have it. I feel like I've proved what I feel like I need to prove for myself, and I feel like I'm pretty satisfied with how the year's gone, and I've told all my team that no matter what happens on Saturday night, that I'm really proud of us and what we've done this year, and no matter what, this year's a success. But I told Jordan, if I woke up Monday as a champion versus not a champion, hell yeah, I'm going to be happier if I'm a champion, but that's not going to change my outlook on the season.
How surprised would you, sitting in your sports car waiting for the green flag at Sebring, be to find out in just really months you would win 10 races in your rookie season in NASCAR?
Yeah, it's been a complete, life has been full of 180s the past few years for me. I could go back 2 years and not be able to predict what's happening to me right now, and that's pretty awesome. I wake up every day and I'm grateful for the life I live and the opportunities I've been given, and I feel like a lot of people have just trusted in me and believed in me, and it's all due to them and the faith that they had in me. So it's awesome to even be in this position. So that's why I'm not really too stressed about it, because 12-year-old me would be proud of even being here, let alone winning the championship or not.
How do you not let that change who you are? Because it's one thing when you come in, you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool, I might be good at this, to like, oh, okay, I'm really good at this. But you seem like the same person who we met a couple years ago, and you haven't, an asshole or anything, hopefully,
You want me to be an asshole?
Knock on wood, you don't change. But like, how has that not been able to affect you? I mean, you're going to be a Cup driver soon. You're this big star. Like, everybody's wanting a piece of you now. Like, but it hasn't changed yet. So how do you maintain that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just the people around me that I go home and I'm still Connor to my mom. I'm still Connor to my dad. My friends, still see me the same way. And, I feel like I come to the track and I walk across the intro stage and my cheers get louder and, things change. But at the end of the day, I'm still me. Like, I'm just the 11-year-old kid who was alone in Europe racing go-karts that wanted to race one day. And I don't think, no matter what happens, I don't feel a reason to change the way I act because of who I am or what I've done. And, I remember watching people race growing up, and the people who were genuine, you have an extra attraction to them for who they are, and I just want to be a human. I don't want to change because of the status or whatever it may be. So I hope I don't change. I don't I feel like everybody can say that, but I don't. It's just not me.
Do you think it's easier or tougher racing against two teammates and one of your best friends?
It's definitely a little tougher. I feel like I'm grateful to have an owner that is a racer and understands what it's like to race against your teammates. He did it plenty at Hendrick and throughout his career, and I feel like Dale is just an understanding guy when it comes down to that. And obviously Jesse, I feel like we'll race each other how we expect to be raced, and that's kind of the end of it. So it can be tough at times, but I think we all understand what we're here to do, and we would get most things that happen are going to be part of it.
How different are you as a driver, and how different is this 88 team since we were last at Phoenix and back in March?
Yeah, a lot different. Our car is very different from when it was at Phoenix. We were trying some stuff in the spring before we really found out what I liked as a driver, and that was early in the year before Marty really knew what I wanted out of the race car. So I feel like things have changed a lot, and we won at St. Louis, which is a pretty similar track to this one, and I feel like we've just grown a lot as a team, and the understanding and communication between each other. So hopefully the result's different, and you know, we can have a better run than we did in the spring. I feel like we were good in the spring, but I slid through my box and kind of ended our day there. So yeah, I finished 4th here in the fall last year, and I love coming to this track. It's a really cool racetrack, and I hope that reflects.
Any advice for any rookie NASCAR fans with this being their first event for any type of NASCAR weekend? Any advice for them?
Yeah, I mean, just take it all in. I think, you know, I last year in the fall, I didn't realize really the significance of, you know, championship weekend, and I guess now that I'm a part of it, I realize it, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, you race all year long for, you know, this one event, and I'm just glad to be a small, you know, one of the 12 drivers that get to race for a championship this weekend. So I would just say take it in and enjoy it, and you know, some history will be made this weekend, you know, no matter what happens, and I feel like that's, you know, getting to witness that would be pretty cool.
Connor, no matter what happens this weekend, how content are you with the season that you guys have been able to put together?
Yeah, I've told all my guys, I feel like no matter what happens Saturday night, we have had a successful year. There's nothing to hang our heads about, win or lose, and you know, we got to be proud of what we did, and not let this weekend define us.
Where do you feel like is the biggest area you've grown this year?
I would say just patience and understanding when to be at 100% and when not to be at 100%. I think there's been times this year where I just didn't really know what I needed to do, what my next goal was, and I quickly understood what it took to win races. And you know, once you start to win a few, you start to realize, okay, I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of what I need to do throughout a race to put myself in position, and that was the most important thing for me to realize, and I feel like I've gotten a good understanding of that now. I don't. It hasn't been announced yet, but I'll be in a race car again next weekend, halfway across the world. So, yeah, that'll be cool.
Which way across the world?
I think you could go either way and get there in about the same time. So, yeah.
You had the record 18 top 5s in a row, followed by a 23rd and 9th. Are you someone that believes in like that momentum is a thing in sports, or is just every race just an individual race, you know, regardless of what's happened before it?
I think momentum is a thing in sports, but not when you're going to Talladega and Martinsville cutoff race. Like, you know, I'm not going to let those finishes change the way I think or feel about how, you know, consistent we've been. I feel like no matter what, we'll be a contender this weekend, and we'll have a chance at it. So, you know, the momentum from this entire season is what matters. And although the last 2 weeks haven't gone how we wanted them to, I don't think anybody could have predicted anything to happen at those two racetracks.
And how much? Okay. And then how much have you been able to prep for Phoenix, just in terms of time, you know, what you've done and how early you've been able to start?
Yeah, I feel like all playoffs long, we kind of had a feeling we were going to make it, and we banked on making it. So Marty and I, we've been pretty focused on, you know, what we're going to have this weekend, but we don't overthink it. You know, we haven't been sitting in the sim for 20 hours just changing little things, trying to find something. You know, I feel like you can easily tune yourself out of it. You can overthink. You can just do too much. And, you know, we've kind of just kept the same mindset of every other weekend, and just believe in what we know and what we've done this year, and you know, not overdo it. But definitely my prep, I've looked into this race a little more, and you know, I've prepared more for this than you know, the last couple weeks. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good weekend, and we just got to go out and execute.
Your name on your shoes?
Yeah, I think so. For a while.
Never see them.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, they're hidden under the toes. So.
Yeah. So. Right.
Yeah, on my Alpine Star shoes, I've always had my name on them, at least a logo.
I'm Caleb Barnes with Frontstretch.com. Come back soon for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.